This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. GM CEO Mary Barra is backing off the company's goal of selling 1 million EVs in the U.S. by the end of next year. She says the market demand just isn't there. Moreover, because GM has delayed several EV programs, it won't even have the manufacturing capacity to make 1 million electrics by then. Even so, Cadillac is making quiet progress with EVs. The Lyriq is now the second best-selling vehicle in Cadillac's lineup, only behind the Escalade, and accounted for 17.7% of Cadillac's sales in the first half of the year. Cadillac will launch 2 more EVs later this year, the Optiq, which will be priced below the Lyriq, and the Escaladic, or Escalade IQ, which GM Motor Authority reports will start at $130,000, while the sport version will sell for over $150,000. Auto Forecast Solutions says that next May, Cadillac will start building a longer version of the Escaladic called the IQL, or IQL, which we think will add another $3,000 to $5,000 to the price. And then next February, Cadillac will launch the Vistiq, a 3-row electric SUV that will complement the Lyriq. Put it all together, and we think it's possible that by the end of next year, 1 out of 3 Cadillacs sold will be electric. And it's only a matter of time before BEVs surpass ICE vehicles in sales in the U.S. A report from the Boston Consulting Group via research company Recurrent predicts that BEVs will account for half of all new car sales in the U.S. by 2030. That kind of flies in the face of everything you hear about a slowdown in EV demand and political uncertainties. But the Boston Consulting Group believes that reduced battery costs, new products, and government support will continue to drive EV growth. And it's not the only one. The International Energy Agency also says that BEVs will hit 50% market share by the end of the decade, which is up by over 13% from its previous forecast. Part of the revision is due to EV sales topping 1.1 million units last year. And if EVs accounted for half of all new cars at today's sales rate, about 8 million electrics would be sold in the U.S. Plug-in hybrid vehicles, on the other hand, are projected to reach about 8% of sales by 2030, which is about where EVs were in the second quarter of this year. Last month's Cyberattack that hit car dealerships across the U.S. put a big dent in their profits. According to the Anderson Economic Group, dealerships lost over 56,000 new car sales and more than $1 billion. The attack targeted CDK, which provides software for nearly 15,000 dealers. The software is used for parts, service, accounting, finance, insurance, and vehicle inventory. But dealers weren't able to use it for several weeks, which led to all the losses. AutoNation, one of the largest dealer groups in the country, said that the attack likely lowered its earnings by about $1.50 a share. Lucid Motors says its Air sedan is officially the most efficient EV available. The pure version of the Air now achieves 5 miles per kilowatt hour and an EPA-rated 146 mpge. The model is equipped with an 84 kilowatt-hour battery pack that provides 420 miles of range. Other updates include a new infotainment system that has triple the processing power and twice the memory as the previous system, and all trims now come standard with a heat pump and Lucid's advanced driver assistance system. Even with the upgrades, the Air Pure still starts at the same price, $69,900 in the U.S., excluding destination charges. The Air Touring, which comes with all-wheel drive and has 406 miles of range, now starts at $78,900, and the top-of-the-line Air Grand Touring with 512 miles of range starts at $110,900. And all models are available to order now.
Keeping your heart racing in and out of the gym. That's what really matters. Bridgestone Potenza Sport AS tires with a 50,000-mile limited warranty.
Stellantis is once again suing one of its suppliers. Crain's Detroit Business reports that the automaker filed the suit against Canadian supplier Spectra Premium Mobility Services earlier this month over a pricing dispute. The supplier threatened to stop shipping fuel tanks for the Chrysler Pacifica minivan, which could shut down production at Stellantis' Windsor assembly plant. Stellantis claims that the supplier is demanding a 12.5% price increase or it will withhold the parts. The automaker asked the court to place a temporary restraining order on the supplier and force it to ship parts at the contracted price. However, a judge denied that request. We think Stellantis has a real problem with its suppliers. Spectra is the fourth supplier the automaker has sued over prices this year. And let's stay with Stellantis for a moment. It has a brand we've reported on in the past called Sustain Era Recycle, which sells remanufactured, repaired, reused, and recycled parts and components. Well, now it's teaming up with TotalEnergies to launch what it calls a regenerated oil. Basically, it's waste oil that's been refined to restore quality and performance. The 10W40 oil has a carbon footprint that's up to 50% lower, and it comes in 1 liter or 5 liter bottles that are made from 50% recycled material and can be 100% recycled. Quartz Ever oil will first be available in Europe and is compatible with both gas and diesel engines. And speaking of TotalEnergies, it formed a new charging joint venture called Source with UK power company SSE. It plans to install up to 3,000 chargers with 150 kilowatts of output over the next 5 years in Britain and Ireland, which would give it about 20% market share of the entire UK charging network. Audi no longer has a Coupe or Convertible in its lineup. It just launched the new A5 without either of those variants carrying on, and the A5 was the last Audi to have models in those categories. The new A5 sedan and wagon are longer and wider than before, with massage styling and an upgraded electronic architecture. The interior features a new push-button gear selector and a large display that combines both the instrument cluster and infotainment screen. The passenger has the option for their own separate screen as well. Both a gas and diesel 2-liter turbocharged engine are offered, with an available 48-volt mild hybrid system that's been updated for the new model. Or a 3-liter turbocharged V6 can be had, which also offers 48-volt tech. The new A5 first launches in Europe this November with a starting price around 45,000 euros in Germany. China is the biggest car market in the world, but the US is still the most profitable, and Chinese suppliers want to use Mexico to get around tariff restrictions to get into the US. According to the Coalition for a Prosperous America, 29 Chinese automotive suppliers have started investing $7 billion into Mexico to make parts there. Those suppliers will make aluminum castings, brake systems, interior and exterior trim parts, thermal management components, intelligent driving systems, ADAS, and more. The Chinese suppliers also have a considerable cost advantage, up to 30%, and that will be mighty tempting to American automakers, which threatens the business of existing suppliers. Only 2 Chinese companies are profitable with EVs, BYD and Li Auto. And the key reason to Li Auto's success is that it mostly sells extended range EVs or EREVs. In fact, EREVs are now the fastest growing segment in the Chinese market, and that has got a number of other automakers studying the tech. As you know, Stellantis is coming out with the Ramcharger EREV pickup that offers 690 miles of driving range and a 14,000-pound towing capacity. And now Ford says it's going to adopt the technology too. And the beauty of EREVs is that they drive like pure BEVs, but don't present any range anxiety because an internal combustion engine generates electricity to help keep the batteries charged. Moreover, that engine operates on a fairly light load, so it can be made at a lower cost. Plus, EREVs don't need transmissions or drive shafts, and they can use smaller batteries, so they offer considerable cost savings to manufacturers. While they're not a perfect solution, since the onboard IC engine still puts out carbon dioxide, This is the kind of electric that will likely satisfy a lot more consumers at this stage of the EV transition than a pure battery electric. By the way, if you like the kind of content we present, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, or you can subscribe to our email list on the Autoline website. And with that, we come to the end of today's report. Thanks for watching.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering boost your game. MEDC, where Michigan businesses are powering the future of mobility. And by Tejan Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
Michigan is leading the charge in mobility and innovation, and I can't think of a better state to be in.
There's nothing wrong with heavy metal.
Hey, lighten up.
But with world-class composite material, Tejan Automotive Technologies makes vehicles lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly.
Intrepid's NeoVi Pi, allowing automotive engineers to interface, capture, and monitor vehicle data using Raspberry Pi. As a matter of fact, it's the automotive industry's first robust platform for Raspberry Pi, featuring Intrepid CAN-FD technology and Raspberry Pi compute module. The NeoVi Pi is designed for automotive environments, allowing use with relative power ranges and applications. In addition, the NeoVi Pi enables you to use the Raspberry Pi for compute while avoiding additional development to adapt to network environments. That makes the NeoVi Pi powerful enough to solve your vehicle network problems, yet small enough to fit in your backpack. One of many Intrepid tools used for developing zonal architecture and software-defined vehicles.